It's the best of the rest. Time to put them to the test. In case your memory is hazy, it's Blaxploitation, baby. This is Blax History Month, a 29-day celebration of Black exploitation films.
Every year on Black History Month, there's always one movie that's the most influential film on the list. One film that's the most decorated with accolades and stands above all the others. This year, that one film is Car Wash. Directed by Michael Schultz, the same man who directed Coolie High, Crush Groove, Living Large, and eventually The Last Dragon, Car Wash is a movie about a day in the life of the deluxe car wash. The movie itself has absolutely no plot, but it doesn't need one, because this movie is all about the characters, and the characters are beyond entertaining. The cast in Car Wash is stacked, and it would take too much time to talk about them all, so I'll just cover a few. When you look at the Blu-ray covers these days, you'll probably see Richard Pryor front and center in the film, but he only makes a short cameo as a crooked pastor. His time in the film is funny though, so it's welcome. It also stars a young Bill Duke as Dwayne, or Abdullah as he likes to be known in the film, because you see, he recently converted to Islam and has become militant as well. We've all known a guy like this. He's unnecessarily angry in the film, but you gotta remember, this is a revolutionary during a time where there was way more to revolt against. One of my favorite characters is one that probably didn't get a fair chance when the movie first came out, and that's Lindy, played by Antonio Fargas. The character is very obviously gay, but in a deviation from the norm at the time, the character is not played for laughs. Instead, Fargas, despite going against type, plays the character as straight as possible, if you know what I mean. Plus, none of the other characters treat Lindy any differently than any of the other employees. It's probably the most well-written and well-acted character in the movie.
Can't y'all see that she ain't funny? She's just another poor example of how the system has of destroying our men.
Honey, I am more man than you'll ever be, and more woman than you'll ever get.
Supposedly, the character was greatly reduced or outright removed from future television showings of the movie, which tells you how much of a risk it was to even include a character like this. Even some of the minor characters are intriguing. There's a bit of a wraparound story with a prostitute who catches a cab to the car wash. She stiffs the cab driver, played by George Carlin, on the bill and spends the entire day at the car wash. She barely speaks, and it's a long time before we realize why she's actually there. But somehow it fits and adds something to the movie, even though it could have been completely removed and nothing would change. And that's what Car Wash truly is at the end of the day. It's a movie about experiences. Each character has motivations and flaws, and even though some are focused on more than others, we still get plenty of time with everybody, enough for each person to leave an impression. Slide, played by Garrett Morris, doesn't pay his parking tickets. TC, played by Franklin Ajayi, keeps trying to win a radio contest so he could win back a girl he used to date. A little kid named Calvin keeps causing trouble. A guy named Lonnie, played by Ivan Dixon, has to deal with his parole officer on top of figuring out how to take care of his two kids. Leonard Jackson is here also, playing basically the same character he played on 5 on the Black Hand Side. And so much more. I've barely scratched the surface, and there's so much more going on. Even the Pointer Sisters make a cameo appearance. Speaking of which, the Car Wash soundtrack is probably just as iconic as the movie, featuring classic songs like the title track Car Wash, I'm Going Down, and I Want to Get Next to You, all well known and regularly played tracks. Unfortunately, Car Wash didn't do well financially, and it's not because it's bad, that's far from the reason. It was probably more to do with Blaxploitation fatigue, which is a shame because it's a phenomenal film about a group of people just trying to navigate their way through life and are funny as hell while doing it. Car Wash was an obvious inspiration for movies like Friday, Barbershop, and no doubt The Wash from 2001. It probably deserves more hype than it gets, and if you don't watch any other movie this year, this is the one to watch.